presence of mind, peace of mind, courage, kindness, gratitude, love. Just as a sword's craftsmanship determines its sharpness, the quality of the water you drink is crucial. To make water safe, some store it carefully, buy bottled water, or use filters, while others send good thoughts to the water. For those who are skeptical about human thoughts changing water's structure, think about this. Have you ever felt more motivated, happier, and full of energy after a morning affirmation? Or experienced a boost of confidence and positivity after telling yourself you could handle a challenging situation? Your thoughts can affect reality. Consider the research by Japanese doctor Masaru Emoto. His book about the impact of thoughts on water that became a New York Times bestseller and a documentary based on it sold millions of copies. Then you have companies like Exide, which sell water exposed to Mozart's music, and La Mer, the famous cosmetic brand that uses miracle broth in their products infused with positive energy and healing properties. It starts to seem like there might be more to the idea of sending good thoughts to water. Let's delve deeper into how our thoughts might influence our reality and what role science has played in all of this. To answer these questions, you need to understand what made this idea accepted by millions despite facing a lot of criticism. It all starts with the book. I'd like you to ask yourself if you are happy. Most people are unable to say that their life is everything they had hoped it would be. So what can you do to be happy? The answer is to purify the water that makes up 70% of your body. You're hooked. Dr. Masaru Emoto makes you wonder. But words alone aren't enough to convince you of his work. You need solid confirmation, something authoritative. Science.
The book The Hidden Messages in Water, released in 2001, is based on Dr. Masaru Emoto's research over a decade. He studied how human thoughts and emotions impact water structure by exposing samples to stimuli like words, music, and environments. Freezing water at minus 25 degrees Celsius to minus 30 degrees Celsius for 3 hours, he observed crystals formed. Positive words yielded beautiful symmetrical shapes akin to snowflakes, while negative words produced chaotic, malformed ones. Emoto extended this to music experiments, showing classical music resulted in aesthetically pleasing crystals, contrasting with heavy metal's jagged forms. These findings suggest our thoughts and emotions may influence our well-being by purifying the water in our bodies, highlighting a profound connection between consciousness and the physical world.
Sounds nice to know that we have more control over our environment and well-being than we ever imagined. According to Dr. Emoto's work, positive thinking can improve our mood, help us manage stress, even boost our immune system, and overall lead to a happier life. But don't just take his word for it. In 2004, the documentary What the Bleep Do We Know hit the screen supporting Emoto's claims. In the film, scientists and specialists, including David Albert, a philosopher of physics at Columbia University, explain how positive thinking can change the material world based on quantum physics. The movie discusses particles appearing and disappearing. Emoto's research and John Hageland's 1992 experiment where 4,000 volunteers meditated to reduce violent crime by 18%. It suggests positive thoughts attract good experiences while negative thoughts lead to challenges. The movie follows Amanda who stops taking antidepressants and focuses on positive thoughts, gaining confidence, a more optimistic outlook, and better relationships. thanks to the insights. The documentary was popular, making over $10 million at the box office in its first year, which is significant for a low-budget film. It's clear how the idea of thoughts altering reality became popular with the backing of research, scientists, and quantum physics. But not everything is perfect. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? Yeah, we're halfway through the video and I'm just getting started. But trust me, all those details are important. When I began the film, I was searching for a small error or falsehood, but instead, I found this. The most credible guy tells us that the filmmakers literally made him say that quantum mechanics linked with consciousness. There is no scientific evidence of a connection between quantum mechanics and consciousness.
Thank you.
Quantum mechanics.
There is scientific evidence of a connection between quantum mechanics and consciousness. But to be fair, there is nothing confirming David Albert's statement. Besides, there are 11 other experts and several physical laws that support this whole idea.
Quantum physics calculates only possibilities. Who, what chooses among these possibilities to bring the actual event of experience? Consciousness must be involved. The observer cannot be ignored.
Well, the observer effect in quantum physics isn't about people watching things change in real life. It's based on the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which states that you can't measure both the exact position and exact speed of a tiny particle like an electron at the same time. Imagine trying to pinpoint the location and speed of a fly buzzing around a room using a flashlight. The light from your flashlight, the measuring tool, would disturb the fly and change its behavior. In this case, it's the measuring tool, the flashlight, that's the observer, not the person holding it.
There's a physical reality that is absolutely rock solid, and yet it only comes into existence when it bumps up against some other piece of physical reality. Could be just some incidental rock.
Imagine tiny particles, such as protons, neutrons, and electrons. These particles can appear and disappear because they only exist in a measurable way when they interact with each other. It's like a party. If no one shows up, it doesn't feel like a party is happening. But when people or particles interact, that's when the party or particles comes alive. This concept applies specifically to these tiny particles, not to everyday objects like rocks. A rock always exists whether someone is looking at it or not. The particles that make up the rock are also always there, but they don't require anything else to interact with them in order to exist. Another interesting example is John Hagelin's experiment on collective consciousness. In Washington, D.C., 4,000 people from different places meditated simultaneously to reduce violent crime. The experiment concluded that violent crime in the city dropped by 18% during this period. But police were skeptical, pointing out that there were 20 fewer murders in the same period the previous year. So where did this scientist's statistic come from? He suggested that if they hadn't been meditating, violent crime would have been 18% higher. For this scientific work, he won the 1994 Ig Nobel Peace Prize, a 90 award. Another potential candidate for a 90 award is Dr. Masaru Emoto. In 1992, Emoto was certified as a doctor of alternative medicine, but university known for selling its qualifications. Before delving into water research, Emoto was selling the magnetic resonance analyzer, MRA. Don't confuse this with magnetic resonance imaging, MRI. Unlike the MRI, the MRA, claiming to detect almost any disease and available just for $100 on eBay, has no scientific basis, is widely criticized, and isn't approved by health regulators in many countries. But let's set aside his past for a moment. We've all made mistakes. Does that mean we can't fix them or do better next time? What if Emoto actually learned from his mistakes? No. In his studies, Emoto claims that pure water creates these gorgeous crystal formations, similar to snowflakes. However, those crystals, like raindrops, actually form around dust particles, so cleaner water doesn't typically produce them. Temperature also plays a crucial role in how snowflakes form. Just a slight change over 5 degrees Celsius can completely alter their appearance. But the critical issue here is that Emoto's experiments were compromised because he knew which samples were exposed to which conditions. This knowledge introduces bias and can significantly affect the results. Wait a moment, Emoto concluded double and triple blind studies, where neither he nor his colleagues knew which samples were exposed to the intention and which were not. However, these studies lack detailed documentation, which is crucial for scientific rigor. Furthermore, they haven't undergone peer review in any credible scientific journals, making it impossible to verify their credibility. So, is there scientific proof that thoughts can change water structure or reduce crime? No. Companies like Exai Water and La Mer sell their products at a high markup without any additional benefits. These products only affect your wallet and rely on the placebo effect, feeling better due to belief, not the product itself. What about affirmations that boost your confidence and make you feel happier? Positive thoughts can affect your reality. A 2021 study found focusing on positive aspects benefits psychological well-being, unrelated to Emoto's research or the movie's claims. The reason I mention affirmations to show how books like Emoto's and films like What the Bleep Do We Know mix true facts with absurdity, a tactic known as cherry picking. Emoto's research has been debunked many times, yet products based on his ideas still line supermarket shelves. These products often rely on cherry-picking data and the placebo effect. The best approach when choosing such items is to seek out criticism to see the full picture. A study published in Psychological Science suggests that considering different viewpoints can lead to more balanced decisions. Additionally, a meta-analysis in the Personality and Social Psychology Review shows that exposure to diverse perspectives can reduce prejudice and foster nuanced understanding. I'd love to hear your perspective on this story. Feel free to share in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.